and welcome back to the series. So in the last tutorial we have created a car controller along with the data access layer along with the service layer. In this tutorial we are going to add the business logic or the data access logic within the DAO. We will also be adding the logic or the service logic inside the car service IMPL. Along with we'll also be writing some controller logic inside the car controller. So let's proceed ahead. Let's move with the DAO IMPL. So in the DAO IMPL we have the particular methods for inserting or adding a car, for getting a list of car, for getting a car by its ID, for deleting a car by its ID, along with updating the information for a car. So the first we'll have a we'll call the session factory. So we need to auto wire it. Just import the auto wire annotation. After importing it, just add or call the session factory. After calling the session factory, what we can do is we can implement the logic for getting the list of the cars. For getting the list of cars, we need to open a session with the help of open session. Once we have opened a session, we can store it over a session object. So we need to import this session, which is being provided by the org.hibernate package. Once we have done, or once we have opened the session, we need to write down the query, and the query belongs to this org.hibernate package. So the query would be something like session dot create query, and inside create query we need to write the query that is from car. So here it is similar to the query select asterisk from car. So the name of the table is car, and this is the SQL query or the SQL statement. In Hibernate it follows the Hibernate or HQL statements. So just we need to write from, then the name of the table. After getting the entire data list, we need to store somewhere, and for storing it we need to have a list. Let it be car equals to query dot list. After getting the list, we can return this object. So this is just a warning. We can ignore it, or we can add suppress warnings. So here we have opened a session. Once we have opened a session, we have created a query, and the query is from car. With the help of this query, it will return us a list of cars, and we are returning the same list of cars within this method. Once we have done this, we can go to the car service IMPL, and within the car service IMPL we can auto wire it. We need to auto wire the car DAO. Once we have auto-wad the car DAO, here we can write car DAO dot get all car. So the service IMPL or the service implementation class will return the get all cars from the car DAO IMPL, and this car service IMPL would be called by the controller. So let's first create a constructor for debugging purpose. Let's put a message. After then we can auto var it. After auto varying it, we can have the car service instance. Once we import the car service, we can have a method public string get this, or we can have a method display all cars. We need to do a request mapping. So with the help of request mapping, the controller can invoke this method whenever the request comes for get all car. We need to import it. So this method also expects something to return. So let's return null. Here we are going to create, or we need to have a model instance. Once we have a model instance, we need to add some attributes, and the attributes, the add attribute method accepts two things. One is the string argument and the other one is the object argument. So let's assign the string argument along with the object. So the car service instance will call get all car from the car service IMPL. As we know, this get all car will return a list of objects. So let's add car and make it as cars. Once we have imported it, we need to provide the object that is cars, and in order to access the car, we need to have we need to pass a string argument. Let it be car list. After this, once it has returned, once we have added the attribute to the model, it should return, or it should call, or it should display a message or a view. So here we are going to provide the logical name of that view, that is view all car. We need to create a page. So I have already created a page, view all car.jsp. Once you have created, you need to add two more one directive, that is not to ignore the expression languages. Along with, we need to add the JSTL tag library. In order to work with the JSTL tag library, we need to add the dependency for the JSTL. So this is the dependency which I have already added in the pom.xml file. After adding the JSTL tag library within the pom.xml file, we can use the expression languages within this view. So right now we have implemented a method, that is the data access object car.DAO IMPL, and within this we have provided the logic in order to display the data